Fire, what you saying?
Yes, Fayaki, give thanks to life again as usual, you know?
Seriously, we are here again, Ballhead and the Dread Podcast. Truly appreciate everyone who tunes in, listen to us, reason. We give thanks. We give thanks for all the comments. Make sure, save the date, June 25th. Big show there in Baltimore, Chant Down Baltimore. Live on stage, the likes of Freddie McGregor, my brethren here, Autarchii, many more to be added. Also, look out for Generation Gap Rhythm coming to you March. It's safe to say March now.
Yeah, we can say March, in a March, April, early April,
right.
You know, keep it safe.
It will be coming to you at some point, right? Joint venture, Red Music, I Never Knew TV, bringing the people roots rock, reggae music, songs for the one, I Maru Tafari, Muda Baruka, Autarchii, and Luton Fire. Make sure you check out the Bridging EP, this Disrupting the Status Quo there in the description. If you have not purchased it, make sure you do. Fire, what we're reasoning about today?
All right, the reason that today, the reason that go for all of fella is a funny topic, you know. There is say real black people are arranged marriages. I feel like I only for direction the reasoning I have to take to, you know. So we really want to kick off the reasoning because this is an interesting topic. I tell that, no joke.
Fire. Well, I've been fortunate enough to be exposed to many cultures in regards to, when someone work with someone, Fire, I've been able to actually build with people in regards to like actually chill with them in their personal life. Because we had that conversation in regards to work, in regards to someone actually inviting you into their house, into their family to see what goes on. And culture, specifically the Jewish culture, yes, people have criticism about this and that, and everybody has their pros and cons. But one of the things I found intriguing was the notion of arranged marriages and analyzing marriages now, the state of marriage specifically in our community. And I know there are many factors in regards to disproportion from men to women, social issues caused by different type of we'll call it social injustices. But nonetheless, we may want to consider the concept of arranged marriages. Reason being that statistically they do tend to last longer than traditional marriages. And one of the things I've really been observing is that we need a checklist of criteria people need to like at least ask and inquire about before they cohabitate with someone long term. And also, I don't think when you're, especially if you get married in your early 20s, you're not mature enough or experienced enough or seasoned enough about life to make a decision who you should be with for a long period of time.
And I feel like it got two ways still, you know. But one time I think about this, you know, I can't see the pros and everything, but then I think about it now. You know, I feel like as a people, we're marginalized thus far. We have whole heap of problems already where we would have to rectify all of these problems before we could get another arena there. What do I see the one?
And don't get it twisted. This is what we wouldn't call like a pie in the sky dream for myself, right? But it's just a reasoning. Even within the problems, right? Now, the approach I have will automatically create a caste system within the caste system because it would kind of keep certain resources and certain people together. And it's almost, I know people don't like to hear it. Like, I guess it sounds like eugenics to a certain extent, but people are almost doing it. This is the thing, Fire, right? And people don't want to accept this. You know, we already practice eugenics to a certain extent, but we don't want to admit it. People dislike eugenics in regards to cultural eugenics, in regards to race, eradicating another race, but we eradicate traits within our own group. And it's acceptable. For instance, if a person wants to find out that their child has a mental disorder or some type of physical disorder at birth and they figure they don't want to move, isn't that a form of eugenics? To a certain extent?
Now, reality is just that when it comes to the whole case of love now, is where we feel like it's where a whole heap of blurred lines there when it comes to the whole case of love. See? Because this concept, it's like it bring people all over the place, right? Them want to be 100% happy. Them want to be in control of them freedom itself now. And when time, I think about it from a regular person, even not hearing the reasoning. So I just try to make sure say them can find a particular space in the reasoning where it can reach them. So if them I think about the control the way them get freedom of love, so to speak, how them would actually can see themselves in a disposition towards the benefit of how them feel towards the person on the opposite end. Or is the case where we're gonna say no, sorry, right? Yes, you have your feelings, but then we have the importance of ensuring so we can build in stability, which comes before that particular feeling. You
All
see
right,
what I'm saying?
fire right. Yo, you brought up a great point. I want to touch on 2 points. First, I want to touch on in regards to access to a mate, right? And that's where the caste system within the caste system comes into play. Depending on your education level, where you work, and what position you are in work, it really limits long-term relationship. I'm not talking about people just meeting up to have sex. I'm talking about someone really wanting to be with you for duration of time and introducing to their family, all that type of vibe. So a lot of times you hear women talk about, oh, they can't find a man. But when you really look into the environment that they're in, through economics, through education, through other social structures, it is a limitation, and there is a certain quality type of man within that environment. Not to generalize everyone, but majority would fit that category because, as I said, education, skill sets, access to resources. So you're already by default. That's why the whole athlete and entertainer thing is very rare for a lady to come from to bring nothing to the table at all. Nothing in regards to herself, in regards to her family wealth, and to link up with a person that has wealth. And you notice it's usually with families with first time money, not even a family, but a person with first time money. But when you have families with generational wealth fire, they usually marry into other families with generational wealth. Your period. So it's like we almost doing it to a certain extent. Your mother may not tell you, your father may not tell you to marry that person exactly or set it up for you directly, but due to your environment, it's almost set up. You know, check out interracial check out interracial relationships, right? A lot of times now you have two sides to it. You have some black men that's just on a different vibration that have disdain towards black women and look down as black women and see white women as a higher plane. That's a whole different issue they dealing with. But then what about the brother that the school he went to is only white girls there? And he meets somebody in class that he truly builds with and he truly enjoys. You see, the interracial thing, we always just want to put it in one category. It's a vibe where a man dislike black women or you look down on black women. But when could it be a vibe of just consistency and interacting with people and they actually build? You pre it. So that's the environment situation right there in the sense that he has a certain he's developed himself for, he did whatever he's supposed to do. He's in a certain environment for academics. And unfortunately, the area that he's in, there's not a lot of young ladies there that look like him. You pre it. So it's just one of those things where it's kind of like we kind of move in there in a sense, but I think we need to really hone it down. And before I wanted to mention some questions people should ask in regards to before marriage, marrying someone. People need to discuss their finances, clarify in regards to what's the story with the student loan and credit card debt, and not only have that discussion, but show paperwork because people like to lie. I've heard many stories where a person gets into a relationship where it's like they have 5 grand in student loan. Then when you check it, it's 70 grand. Then they expecting you now to assist with the 70 grand, but you didn't know about the 70 grand fight. You just know about 5. Or they're not upfront about their spending habits in the sense that you're a person trying to build, or you're a person that runs up a credit card, and the next person here trying to build. You're not going. What's the name? So this is a conversation we need to have in regards to raising children culturally. And the next thing I see fight that mash up a lot of things is this intertwining their religions, because the two people may accept each other, right? But their families don't necessarily accept each other, and it creates an issue in regards to what traditions would you practice, what holidays would you practice, how would you raise the children? You pre it. So that in itself it causes an issue. So along with the arranged marriage, we need to have mature adult conversations. How we raise children. Social media use fire. That's the next thing mashing up relationships right now. People don't have a clear guideline of what's acceptable, what they agree on what's comfortable for both people to use social media. Some people want to post everything. The next person don't want to post anything. Some people want to post the children all the time. Some people don't want to post the children all the time. You get what I'm saying? It's like the arranged marriage. I think the undertone of what I'm saying is that we need some elderly guidance in regards to
Yeah,
um
so when the reasoning start, it still has me have to make sure I listen there first, but it to me what I talk about, it not sound like arranged marriage, It not sound like arranged marriage, because first and foremost, me find a lot of flaws with arranged marriages, right? Especially now that you touch this whole religion point. And then we start thinking about the whole perspective. A parent is not always are some of the so-called elders, older people and within a family structure is not always the wiser ones, because you do have a lot of children who come out and get more exposure to a lot of different things. But when they say the elderly guidance now, this you know, it lick a chip in my head now, because me I say, all right, this now sound like the direction now where we feel like is a necessary thing. Because you see, if we have the family structure together in an organized manner and it a run in a way how we want it for run, then we have to ensure say our children maintain this particular standard. Not that we're going to tell you say, okay, this is the exact person where you have to go love, but there's a standard where you have to love. And with that standard where you have to love now, that standard have to make sure say it can help we if it develop further on, which is something we think we totally need as a people. Because we can't come now and feel like me even I hear Mutabaruka recent and him said, only a fool learn from his own experience. And it's that we continue to do over and over and over again, or one go the experience of things. So your mother and your father and your family build a system, a working system, a system where now have no malfunction. Not that it's a perfect system, but a system where have tiers towards it, where we are planning to improve. And come with a form of stagnancy and set back the family upon a different particular level. Now it's like we have to rebuild again. And we see it all over in regards to black people, because we realize that because black people being marginalized across the world and being placed in so many different categories and different boxes, and the structure is not as stable as many other type of people. Now that in itself kind of set you back. So every time we make a small minor progress as it relates to relationship, our family and we see say mother and father here, and then we are look for branch out now for the family go and set forward. Now we realize that the daughter probably meet up with this particular man who end up now him now start abuse her and certain things now and start brings that certain type of energy, or a son might mix up and entangle with a different type of woman now who starts steering in the wrong direction. So from the levels there, I feel like with the elderly guidance part, I feel like we don't want a lot. I feel like a lot of people that get it misinterpreted if them hear the arranged marriages, because it have a negative connotation to it from them standpoint, especially how them taught. And it's not that we are baby them towards the reasoning, But then when time I think about it now, in the Western world, for people who are listening to it in the Western world, for them idea of arranged marriage, so to speak, it not have nothing good come from it, because it take with them freedom, and for them meditation now. What is freedom of love? So I guess now in ourselves now we have to meditate it, no? But me like when they say the elderly guidance is necessary, because I feel like without the elderly guidance there and the power structure that we were supposed to have built, if it is not in place for you, we are dwindle as a people, and then this whole loosey goosey love type of relationship we keep on a place so much emphasis on, it now have no farmer is essence towards the development.
a fire one comedian. Hey, you used to have a thing on BT called Comic Views, a dude called Ronaldo Ray. The man said you can't get no romance without finance. Right? And I think that we're sexually immature as a culture. Reason being, we have yet to understand the consequences of our promiscuity. And that's one of our biggest issues. And I don't think we could blame the white man for that, tell you the truth. We got to tone down and ease up on certain things, because, as you said, the loosey goosey thing, you grow up in it and you're encouraged to do it, and hopefully you could grow up out of it. But just being all around the place and both men and women being with everybody, there's no benefit to it long term to us. It's extremely detrimental, and that's one of the biggest issues in regards to the family. Yes, people could talk white man this, white man that, but we need to talk about how we behave sexually. So even myself, I have a history of that too. You grow out of it and you mature, and hopefully other people can. But one thing I want to touch on, what you said, is this whole concept of love, right? We need to redefine love. I think Hollywood has defined love for us, and it's been very detrimental in the sense that I think love for people is just this absolute. utopia. There's no ups and downs. It's just oh, I love you so much and this and that. And just not reality. Any person in a real relationship for any duration of time knows there's ups and downs and turns arounds, but it's the respect and the unified approach to the mission. What is the mission? I think that's, how people have a mission statement for their company. I think we need to start also add mission statements to your marriage in the sense that what is the mission, right? And the mission is always more important than our feelings. Now, I'm not condoning any form of abuse, psychological abuse, financial abuse, physical abuse, sexual abuse. We're not saying that. We're not saying, oh, if you're in turmoil, this and that. But fire, there are going to be issues in your relationship. And we're at a point now, once there any type of issue, any type of disagreement, people gone, relationship done. Then it's either they don't have a relationship or they just have a hookup relationship culture, which has not been, the hookup culture is not beneficial to any form of liberation in any group fire because there's no stability in it. There's no commitment towards anyone. There's no stability. And I believe that's why they promote it, because it's the individual vibe. There's no collective growth. I think that's one of the main reasons. It's not trying to be conspiracy theory, but I think that's one of the main reasons it's promoted in the music and in the movies and the visuals. And they always present this person as, you basically don't need anyone. All you need is your money and your resources. That's all you need. And it's all about you. You don't have to help anyone. You don't have to do anything for anyone. As Christian people say, you don't got to take up your cross for anyone. It's just all about you. And there is no benefit to it. You know it, I know it, and it's easily visual. But real quick, sorry, real quick fire. But with this love thing, we need to redefine love. We need to understand that, yes, there. Biddy McLean had a tune fall in and out of. When the realest. Yo, Biddy McLean have a tune called "Fall In and Out of Love." One of the realest tunes ever. I encourage you to listen to it because that's just the truth. Sometimes you won't love your wife, and some days your wife won't love you. But are you committed to the mission? Are you committed to the mission? Do you have a clear mission to say, I'm gonna support this person? This person to support me. I'm gonna check for this person. If the person's in the wrong, I'm gonna speak up and just say, hey, you could do better. That type of energy. And it's like it's not there, and it's the sexual immaturity, the emotional immaturity. And I want to be clear. If I'm not saying I'm perfect, you get what I'm saying, but I'm a man that try to improve all the time. But there are things that we need to do, because that's what kills me when people talk about all this black power and black liberation and they single, or they can't keep a relationship. How can we have unification as a people when we can't have unification in the house? It don't make no sense. And I understand some people don't have an example of anything. It's like for our generation, a lot of people were here winging it. We are the trailblazers, but we can't condemn or complain about what's done in the past. We can just do our best so that the younger generation can pick it up and build from there. That's the next thing, is too much complaining about what was not done in the past and not enough emphasis and focus on what we should be doing the best we can to set up the next generation, because they could build. Because the reason people don't want to build, because a lot of people suffer from hopelessness, fire. They don't have no hope for the future. That's why for them now it's not worth the sacrifice, because they don't believe. They believe what they do will be in vain, and they believe the ones underneath them won't do anything beneficial anyway. So we gotta go check for that too,
Yeah, I'm a think if anything, that is really that is really the summary of the reasoning, because if like me, I listen to what the ayah say, and by the way how the reasoning said is a thing where I feel like we have to look into very, very deep. Realize say in a reality, not everybody are gonna find the true love the way them seek. But at least you can put yourself in a position for can embrace what it is. Because realistic enough for know say it's not a bed of roses all across the board, and everybody now go realistically just okay, I'm gonna this like this Alice in Wonderland business. But as what they say, if the movement is to achieve a long-term thing, see, achieve like a Marcus Garvey. When Marcus Garvey is a man, and Marcus Garvey is a race first. Him deal with blackness. Him not deal with farmer hating him. I deal with blackness first. See? And if you say you deal with this blackness first, you have to embrace the way how this movement are going to continue. The way how the movement are going to continue are generations through the whole family structure. And if you say I lay this thing and you go out there every day and push this agenda for have betterment for black people or African people overall, see, this can't go continue because any movement will start now, the only way it can continue is if you have new ones who rise up, we have the same ideology, and them develop an ideology. Just like a one build a house, man. It have to start from the foundation. We start from the foundation, you put the first floor, you go up to the second floor, and you continue building. So out of the whole reasoning, when me I get is that we have to make sure so we have standards that we set and we have directions and aims. And it's not again because I realize a lot of shallow-minded people listen to the reason sometimes too. So one thing again for clarify, when I make the statement about even the student loan vibes, it's not that the person where you you in love with or try to develop a whole thing with so have to be a person who will not have no form of financial debt. It's just that there need to be a direction and an aim so one can get out of this particular debt and see how one can move on and build from that. And we have to always make sure so when it comes to building, we include the family structure. I know there's a whole culture amongst our people nowadays where the elders them, whatever the elders them say, it's like a thing, it's like a thing of the past. So we just say, oh no, them all, anything what them must say that was for them time. No. What we have to do now, we have to start psychoanalyze the particular statements made by the elders them and see how we are going to improve that particular thing. So you see if the elders them, even if them never did chat the road the way them a deal with particular love in a way where it have no direction or it have no stability, we have to take with them, get towards we, put a particular stability towards it. And then when we put the stability towards it now, we develop ourselves from a relationship standpoint. And then our family can start from that relationship standpoint with that influence of the elders them. And I succumb where we carry out our true agenda where we need. But if we not do that, then the agenda can't carry out. It's like we just start a whole general thing as they say, now have no mission statement. So we don't know which part we go. We just hope say we end up in this lovely place where a lot of people can identify with and say, oh, what a lovely couple. And that for me is no particular goal where anybody's supposed to aspire towards.
He brought up a great point. There's two things I want to touch for the reason I'm done, right? One, this whole general disregard for the elders, right? And we all know just because you're old don't really mean you have that wisdom and that energy. But I will say this: if you analyze people, relationships, and social structures, there's always something to take from it. So what we're doing, as you said, we disregarding everything. Yeah, as you said, we're disregarding everything, and that shouldn't be the case. There are aspects to take from it. So the work ethic may have been good, but the relationships were terrible. The relationship between the father and the mother was bad, but the relationship with the kid was good. So you get what I'm saying? There's an aspect of it you have to take, and now we have to analyze it and see how can we improve upon it. Another thing I want to add is that, and this is something I have done personally, I can attest to because I did have this mind frame earlier where we are trained that the work ethic and effort we only should be put into is something that generates income in regards to you would work on. Some people will put effort. Some people may be their body, not for health, but more cosmetics. But we're trained to work on your body, not health though, body, and put effort into things that generate income. But we're never trained to work on relationships, specifically marriages and relationship with your children. So I think that's an aspect we all could add into from our culture that would benefit us tremendously in regards to that effort that you put into rising up the economic ladder or rising up your what's the name? Because it's a give and take. You're not going because the American dream not beneficial to the family. You being on top not necessarily beneficial to your family. Now you need money. Don't get it twisted, right? But there are different ways you can get the money and tone it down to where all your time, effort, and mental energy is put not pursuing the money that you actually have time to build with your people, that they balance and they would be stronger and better in the future. So I just think that's a consideration people have to say in regards to read because I grew up around it. I grew up around an environment where it's basically a disregard for your family and everything is work. It's almost like your family don't matter, to tell you the truth, in a sense. Your family doesn't matter. It's just work and money. But it's a very destructive game when you do that. I think we need to balance it out. It's one extreme. Now you have people that don't even work. I'm talking about people that actually out there. I know you got the next people that say they don't work, dude. I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about people that grew up in that environment where family's really not that important. Then you have some people on the vibe where it's like, oh, I'm not gonna work, but I'm gonna take care of the family. But you need income fight. You need money to bring to the table to support it. We need money in a capitalistic society, unless you're gonna live on some bush and be on that tribe. But if you're amongst the people in a social environment, you need finance. So we need the balance in the sense that how can I generate money and at the same time I still have enough time and energy to build with my people and provide them the emotional support, psychological support, and everything that they need. So I think that's the heights we should consider. Everyone's a work in progress. I'm a work in progress. If you are listening, we do encourage you to put forth that effort, and it's for us to change. That's the thing. It's just like we don't have no time sitting around complaining what wasn't done or what we didn't receive. It's time for us to work to be the thing that we expected, I guess, the previous generations to be, or be what we feel is needed for the next generation to have a little vibe. There's too much complaining and generation blaming, and I just, in my observation, right, and what's going on in the world, this generation definitely is kind of a shift. Yeah, people focus on negative things all the time, but it's a lot of people out here. I see a lot of brothers out here with their kids. Yo. I don't care what the media, I don't care what the media want to say, whether it's suburb, whether it's
No,
city,
them
whether
not
it's
gonna
hood,
like that.
And as I said, we know the reality of football. Yo, I see a lot of dudes out there with their kids, yo. Whether it's part time, full time, they out there with their kids trying. And yeah, people don't want to emphasize that. People don't want to hear it, but it is what it is. And if your eyes are open, you will see. Because I think what people do is disregard that and just focus on the negative aspect. And we need to move away from that. It's not to say disregard the negative, but it's too much emphasis on the negative that we disregard the good people are doing.
So if me I go put it in a nutshell now, one time me I made it it's like where I said the elders them supposed to look into themselves and see what type of role them supposed to play and shape shift the dynamics of what them family supposed to be like. So we can always have somebody out of the family structure or the overall family structure elevate. So once we can fix things from the elder standpoint, make sure we have an important role in how everybody in the family live. Not that we have to dictate how them live, but we have play a key role from a standpoint in how the direction of the family is. And then if you break it down now to we are talk about the elders them, and then we are break it down to now the mother and the father now. Ensure say them child know which lane them supposed to be in and the direction where them supposed to head towards as it relates to key goals, the mission, the outline, the framework, everything. You see me I say? And then we know say love is a part of that now. And then we think about it now. When the youth them come forward and say them a search for love, them supposed to deal with some long-term type of love affair no way. I will lead out for them generations to come, and then we as a people can improve the family structure and overall and ensure say we know say this is something we're very important and very necessary in the development of I fighting the oppressions them are out there, but we have to start work on self. So when we work on self and bring that out towards family and know say the approach of love not supposed to be something we just lose, then we can always know say we have a great aim, we have an understanding of where we're supposed to go based off of that. Because the reason why I want to put it in a nutshell, as I tell you, because I realize sometimes a lot of people lose track in a particular points of the reasoning. And I feel like, especially when it comes to a reasoning like this, it have a sensitivity towards a lot of people. Because how the culture is right now, it anyone listening to this exposed to what the general culture is. So I'm gonna know if for them live it is like that. So I want to make sure say we put it back on the track right there so them can know what the reasoning is about, the direction and the aim of this ultimate reasoning. Because when it comes to certain sensitive topic, especially this love thing, this love thing might seem like it's just a reasoning, but I tell you, this whole love thing is something where in a whole heap of people brain, them think about it from some drastic and some severe manner. some severe manner. I see people get all depressed over this love. I mean, I say if love is such a positive thing and it's supposed to be a thing where once can improve themselves and feel the utmost satisfaction from. I don't see how depression can even come in at that. So so me I tell that I know say once just have to know say there is a direction to go towards love and we have to make sure say it have a distinct mannerism. As I put it in the beginning there, it's arranged marriage still, which we know say is a thing where it true off all heap of people. So we just want to make sure. So I make sure so one's overstand the reason about and David gets stuck pan that, you know.
No, reality bits fine. And the sources is just work fight and just read a different approach to what we've been doing. But definitely one can consider putting more work into relationships, because between the music and other things, people had this negative view of your brother and your sister and everybody's trash and this and that. And that's not the case. There's some beautiful people out there and some great people you could build with. You yourself may have to change in regards to the type of person you're attracting. That's the conversation people don't have too, because we are energy things, and if I have people that attract certain type of vibes depending on what you want. So if you're consistently running to a certain type of person, you may want to look into yourself to see why are you attracting and why are you attracted to that type of person. But that's a totally different conversation. But the gist of the thing is we all need tremendous work that we need to do. We all need to work. I encourage everyone listening to get to work and try to improve yourself and have conversations with your people and try to build and just try to be a better you. Because the better you are, the better it is for the collective and ease off the self-esteem. I'm not telling no man to go give all his money away to those who need it, but there are little things you could do to help the collective. And one of the greatest things you could do is be an example of a disciplined person on the heights with principle, morals, ambition, consistency, and self-love. So we give thanks for everyone listening. Do remember, save the date, June 25th. Hope to see all of you out there. Make sure you support my brethren, their new EP, Disrupting the Status Quo, there in the description, right? And while I'm cooking, I will be listening to Escaping by the Night, and hopefully you can take it into when you get the album, all right?
Well, let me hear you say mountain,